Hello, chat. Welcome to my. I did the thing again where I closed voice meter and I just terminated. See, this week it's one of those weeks where it's like I'm really being tested. Okay, God is like, listen, suicide is a sin. So we're gonna play some fucking games here. Okay, let me tell you my first disappointment. Okay, the first thing that I was disappointed by this week. I waited. I've had these keycaps for my keyboard. I told you guys I was going to replace my keyboard with this awesome new mechanical keyboard, and it arrived, and the PCB board is broken in specifically one place: the space bar, the most important fucking key, the one key you can't get around. So I'm waiting for a replacement PCB so I can fix my fucking keyboard. And then I went on a trip. The trip was abysmal, just terrible. My worst experience of my fucking life. And then I got back, and the news hit that I'll go over, and it's like a bummer. But I was kind of just processing how fucking horrific my trip was, and then I getting in ready for the stream, and I was preparing for something, so I was putting my crypto hardware key onto my phone so I could do something midstream, and I said, "Oh, you got a firmware update." I'm like, "Wonderful, okay, I'll just update the firmware real quick." And it broke the hardware key. Now you don't know if you lose your keys for cryptocurrency. It's not like a bank account where you just walk in and fix it. You have to restore it, so you have to hope that your restoration system is in place. It's been 5 years since I restored my key last, so I had to dig through my shit and try and find the titanium plates. Yes, crypto nerds actually record their mnemonic keys onto titanium plates, and then when they want to resurrect their failed hardware key, they must divine the titanium plates like Joseph Smith in the Mormon Church, consulting the plates of Nephia, or whatever the fuck, to try and figure out what the fuck the key is. So I'm sitting there over like, bug, bug, yes, bug kettle, bug kettle. What's the next one? What's the next key for the wallet? And I'm just like a fucking lunatic rocking back and forth. Bug kettle, bug kettle, bug kettle. Oh. And then after 3 attempts, I figured out that I was doing it in the wrong order, and I was able to restore it. So disaster averted. I don't have to kill myself today. It has been delayed. And then, of course, I woke up at 7 to start preparing for the stream at noon, and I could not get. I was using for a while a note-taking service called Notion, which I was supposed to share between other people who helped me assemble my notes to make my life just a little bit easier. And they decided that I should have to pay $20 a person per seat, and I'm like, your fucking synchronized note-taking software is not worth $20 a seat. So I went to look up how to install a custom self-hosted one. Of course, that was a fucking disaster, and I haven't been able to use it for that intended purpose. But thankfully, AI is one of the only things I can actually depend on, and my boy Claude was able to find a way to get me into my own fucking notes, just in time to start the stream. So, not in a good mood. But someone told me, Josh, you have to stream. Oh, and I almost got sick. I thought for sure I was sick because I was just so fucked up feeling last night. But then someone told me, Josh, you have to stream. I'm like, why do I have to stream? User, what could you possibly show me? And lo and behold, um, today just so happens to be the National Shutdown Day, a coordinated day of anti-ICE protests recorded in absentia of all workers, streamers, and various professions to shut down the whole country to protest fascism, which means I have to work. I have no choice. I have to show up. People might think I'm a fucking communist if I don't show up to work today. So I have overcome significant obstacles in my life to be here to talk to you guys today, and unfortunately, it's not going to be anything fun. But I'll try my best, chat. And to try my best, I'm going to need my number one, try my best helper in the entire world, Neil Maham, who's there to remind me that There are certain things and words I cannot say on YouTube, so I can say on YouTube. First, let us condemn the British with the full contempt possible. The UK is progressing a number of anti-freedom policies to the surprise of literally nobody. In particular, they are trying to make it so that people under the age, I think, of 16 cannot use a VPN to get around child blocks. Now, of course, this is a little bit of one of those backdoorsy things that whenever people say something is for the children, it's actually against you. And I see that kicks are still not being interpreted by the system as a super chat. So I am apologetic. Let me start recording actually with my debug software so I can figure out why the fuck that's happening. If somebody sends in another one. Okay, what was I talking about? Okay, so this is one of those things where if they say it's for the children, it's actually to fuck you over. And in this case, the intention is to collect IDs. So now to buy an VPN in the UK, you have to show an ID, which means that the foot is in the door to make sure that you cannot ever have a logless VPN. I assume in the future, one day, they're going to make it so that if you're trying to buy a VPN, the VPN service has to have logs. They did this in Russia. Now, if you ever ask an Angloid how they feel about Russia, they would be like, Putin is bad. They're always doing terrible things. Oh, it's such a horrible country. It's so evil. The people have no freedom. But as it turns out, the UK has actually made more arrests for social media posts than Russia has, despite, I think, having half the population. And like Russia, the UK is advancing a anti-VPN policy so that they can clamp down on dissent online. So that an Angloid can never, ever, ever say that the UK is better than Russia, because it really is not. Labor is sending people to speak with our legislators about digital ID in Washington state. That is crazy. Yeah, that should be criminal. It should be criminal for a foreign head of state to come visit the United States and speak to state legislators to try and pass bullshit. The reason why they're doing that, by the way, is that New Hampshire and Wyoming has passed, I think, what they called slate acts, which are state level, you can never cooperate with a foreign government law. And that was actually as a result of Preston Burns, who is our attorney for the 4chan Kiwi Farms case. And he is working with state legislators to try and pass the slate acts in every state, and also with Congress to try and get something similar out. So it is another weird thing where it's like we have states in the country that don't want voter ID, that want infinite give me debts, and that want to collaborate with foreign countries to conspire against people in the United States. And then there are states that don't have that. And it's just like a very clear divide. And I'm just wondering how that's going to be reductively passed along in the future. Like the Civil War has always just said it's about slavery. It makes me wonder, like, what are they going to say about this divide? Is it like, I guess it depends on who wins. But honestly, what are the people in Washington state fighting for? You have a bunch of white people who are like, we need to have no freedom in order to protect freedom. Are they going to, maybe that's it. They'll try to be like, it's a fight between democracy that doesn't defend itself and there's a word for it in German. It's like a Selbstversicherheit Demokratie, which is like a self-defensive, self-securing democracy, which means democracy, but if you believe in the wrong things that are anti-democratic, you go to jail forever for being a Nazi. Kind of like that. Are we going to be a permissive democracy that has ways to legally progress into authoritarianism, or are we going to be a self-defensive democracy? So anyways, fuck the UK. Autistic lives thrive on Zionism. Now here's a picture of this guy. Very cool picture. Autistic lives thrive with Jewish pride by Nero Zion. A neurodivergent Zionist is a vibrant, spicy chai. I don't know what that means, but then we have a Hanukkah menorah. I think it's the Hanukkah menorah because it has 9 candles. I had a conversation about this recently, and I think that the menorah will have a different number of candles depending on if it's a home menorah, a temple menorah during Hanukkah, or a temple menorah outside of Hanukkah. It has like 7 if it's like a menorah, Hanukkah menorah. It has like 8 if it's a temple menorah. It has like 9 if it's like a Hanukkah temple menorah. It's a very weird thing, but you don't even notice it until someone points it out to you. So, anyways, whatever. He says, I am an autistic, but I am not a Jew. I am a neurodivergent Zionist and a proud friend of Jews. I watched that Tyler Oliveira documentary about that town called like Curious Noel or something in New York. And a lot of them were anti Zionist. They were anti Zionist, I think, because the Zionists made them look bad and caused political issues for them. They didn't really give a shit outside of that. He has a very weird face. He looks kind of normal. He has like a Joaquin Phoenix Joker face. This is what happened after they sodomized Joaquin Phoenix in that second movie. He's now an autistic, neurodivergent, neurozion. I think that's what happened. Correct me if I'm wrong. I'm just guessing here. Is this him? Oh, the audio's not playing. Why is the audio not playing? Can I fix this? Is there any hope of me fixing this? I don't think there is. I think that it could just not have any audio. It could just be the case. Okay, let me announce. It's this guy. He's got a beanie on. He kind of has a feminine shape to him. He's like so soy that he has like a hip to waist ratio, which is bizarre for an adult man like in his 40s and 50s. But we live in bizarre times, chat. I wonder if I can. I might have to futz with my audio later. He is pointing at his neurodivergent seal there, letting you know that menorah has an odd number of lights. Okay, I have some China news. Let's start with this one first, actually. This Chinese woman was like, ho ho, a very tasty leopard. I will take a picture next to him and then eat him later. The snow leopard was privy to her antics and knew that that woman would soon be eating him. So he attacked her in cold blood. That's the aftermath. Oh, did he kill her? Uh-oh. I'm going to assume that that's him. No, actually, he's just sitting on her clothes after the fact. Um, she ran so quickly it was like Looney Tunes, and her clothes like fell off. Because you're like, "Pyong," and it's like just like a comic effect where there's like a cloud of like clothes and random stuff that fell off her as she hit like the sound barrier. And she survived. Her body's not there. It's just the leopard. And he's sniffing her clothes like, how did this even happen? This is so Looney Tunes-esque. There's no bodies on my screen, chat. Anyway, she tried to take a picture with the leopard and hijinks happened, is what I'm trying to say. He's teabagging her. Like a video game. Now, I want to show you guys what an efficient democracy looks like. If you are a republic and you're a people's republic, you can expect a efficient judicial process. I mentioned, I think 2 streams ago, that there was that guy. What's his name? Chen Ji. Chen Ji was the guy who had the slave camps in a gray area of Myanmar where the law did not exist. He was deported to China. China put on a little show with showing off that they had captured him and some key members of his crime syndicate. They decided that he had a right to a speedy trial. They tried him in the courts of China, found him guilty, and then also gave him a right to a speedy death. And he's already dead. So it's been 2 weeks, and he and 11 or 10 other people have been executed in China for the billions of dollars of fraud that they've committed and the lives that they've ruined. That's a W for Xi Jinping and the People's Republic of China, chat. We can only hope to have a democracy as efficient and righteous as the Chinese one. I always love how in Chinese courtrooms they put the people in like these penalty boxes so you can take a good look at them, like the press pool can. and be like, "Yep, these are the fucking assholes. They're all gonna be dead soon." Why does she gets a different, because it's a woman? She gets like a different outfit. That's a lot of people that they're trying. They got a bunch of people. They got rows of these things for everybody that is going to be dead soon. Cool. Cool. A little bit of a cultural exchange, chat. Now let's see what's happening on the part of the world where we don't have freedom. Spotify and the three major rights holders are suing Anna's Archive, which is an archive scraper that has scraped millions of music files off of Spotify and hosted them for free. They are suing Anna's Archive for $13 trillion. This is not a lawsuit penned by an insane person with a huge ego and low IQ. This is a actual lawsuit that multiple lawyers put their names on to authorize. They're asking a random person, probably from Russia, to fork over the GDP of, I think, the UK, Germany, and France put together for sharing digital copies of MP3s on the internet. So when you allow copyright cucks to get away with the bullshit that they want to get away with, this is the end product. A company will sue a private person for sharing music on the internet for the combined, and they are literally alleging that the value of these music files is worth more than the entirety of the economic output of California for 4 years. That's what they're actually alleging. They actually think that. That's what we have allowed delusional copyright cucks to get away with in their twisted, warped, fetid minds. And it's truly disgusting. And they all need to be put into some kind of box, some neat, tidy little box where we can just organize them and put little signs that say copyright cucks right in front of them as we handle them according to the laws and procedures of our country, chat. Next, I've been extolling the virtues of offloading all of your menial work to AI recently, and it seems that me preaching the good word has fallen on the right ears. We have Tony here showing off his own little AI project, which is quite nice, chat. Tony has set up a computer program using artificial intelligence to listen to multiple live streams of people streaming the riots in Minnesota. And if the AI is able to hear a speaker speaking in a foreign language, he creates an automatic feed of the precise coordinates of where that person is streaming, the time that it was detected, and what language was detected. So you can see that Bryce, the robot, is announcing on Telegram that Spanish and Somali are being detected at exact coordinates at exact times, alerting ICE to the presence of perhaps an illegal resident of the United States. Thank you, Tony, at 0x Racist, though that is not actually a valid 16-bit character string. Might want to work on that. But thank you anyways. Next, this is Will Stansel, famous for the Will Stansel Show, sidekick of Jamal, and his catchphrase of "It do be like that, Mr. Stansel." Mr. Stansel has decided to break away from cartooning, which he is most known for, and do some on-the-field IP2 style investigative reporting on the mean streets of Minneapolis.
You guys gotta go. So gross, dude. Let the
Base 16, you're right.
state people handle it. You killed someone. There's a video.
I
The whole
do be
world
like
sees
that,
it. He shot him 5
Mr.
times on
whatever
the
your name
ground. You guys gotta
Hardly
go.
amused.
You killed someone. Like, what's the excuse for that? You killed someone. Go home. Go home. Like, go home. You're taking a picture for this shit? The state team will deal with the state people. You guys gotta go. And look at you all looking bums. You're all wearing hoodies and crap. Like, what are you doing? Go home. You're bums. You're a bunch of bums. Is this really what you planned to do? You shot that guy 5 times in the back. I saw it. Go home.
I want to give you guys an idea of just how incredibly intelligent I am. I've been futzing around. You can't see me, but I've been futzing around trying to figure out exactly why I can't hear anything. And I have just discovered, upon my investigation, that my headset was not plugged in, and that is why I cannot hear anything. This is my voluntarily spend my life awake, and I don't just roll back and go back to sleep. Okay, I still can't hear anything. That's not good. It is definitely plugged in this time, chat.
Let the state people
No, it
handle.
couldn't be. Here, I'll play the next video so you guys don't have to listen to this, and then I'll have 33 seconds to figure out what the fuck is wrong.
They're shooting at me. They are shooting at me. Bunch of dogs. Oh, you stupid dogs! What are you doing? Hey, arrest these guys! They're coming for us! They're coming for us! What are you doing? You killed someone, not us! You killed someone! Oh, who gives a crap? I got a gas mask. I don't care. What are you doing? What are you doing?
Every day, I wake up and think, I could just go back to sleep. Okay, that was Mr. Stansel having fun out in the streets of Minneapolis. Many people have been creating artwork featuring Will Stansel, honoring his contributions to society and to selflessly protecting those who cannot protect themselves, the Somali Americans, the new Americans. Thank you, Mr. Stansel. It do be like that. There is some guy who was shot. My understanding is that there was a little bit of debate about what exactly happened. If I remember correctly, it was a CBP agent, not an ICE agent, who was trying to handle the man that you see on your screen. He was a licensed concealed carry permit holder. He had a firearm on him. And during his resisting arrest, his firearm was fell out of his pocket or off of his holster and discharged. And I believe it was even a zigzawa, famous for accidental discharges. A CBP agent was verily spooked by this negligent discharge and decided that the appropriate response would be firing several rounds into the body cavity of the man that you see on your screen, resulting in his death. So there is some discussion about how the fascist pigs occupying Minnesota have deprived a man of both his First and Second Amendment rights, which is very ironic for the conservatards. Conversely, the opposition holds that if you resist arrest, you deserve to be shot and nothing of value is lost. However, those of us who are most nihilistic and apathetic and struggling to stay awake look at this and think, isn't it very funny that they had to run him through like a face filter to make him look less dysgenic for his photo? Because apparently what they're showing is the picture on the right, but what they actually shot at was the guy on the left who looks hideous, who looks like someone else who I will be mentioning imminently right now. Do I have the clip? Let's see if I have the clip. If I have the clip, it's going to play right now.
Total Balldo Victory.
Okay, so if you're listening for the Balldo news, here you go. It's going to be right up in front. Here's what's happened. I mentioned that there would be 3 prongs of attack on the Balldo front in order to hopefully get the body cam footage released. Here is how this is progressing. Despite objectively being in the legal right in every way, shape, and form, the state and the defendant of Nicholas Rekieta have conspired the entire way to conceal this body cam footage for reasons unknown to me. The court, the prosecutor, and Nick Rekieta have filed motions together and approved them within hours of being filed. within minutes of court even opening to try and suppress body cam footage, which so far has been seen by 2 people. The same day, within minutes of court opening and within minutes of somebody showing up to witness the body cam footage, the clerk of court was already made aware that body cam footage was to be concealed, and she was turned away at the door. Then an appeal was filed, and a FOIA request lawsuit was filed against the county, separate acts. The the appeal that was filed with the state appellate court asked Bromka of many different things why they decided to appeal this decision when there was an ongoing FOIA case. And that was one of their main reasons for hammering him during oral arguments. Oral arguments which, by the way, despite it being an intervention case in which the state was the one presenting arguments, Nick Rekieta's personal attorney showed up and made oral arguments on behalf of the state. The state's attorney actually showed up an hour late to its own oral arguments in the appellate court and was told by the judge that his testimony was no longer needed because he was so late. Then they won. And in the FOIA case actually dropped before the appellate court made its decision, saying there was no need for them to file a FOIA case because there's an ongoing intervention case that had been yet to be heard. And they dismissed that with prejudice, despite it being a technicality. So on the civil case, there was a Gordian knot. They said that there's an appellate case for the intervention happening. The intervention case is saying there's a FOIA case happening. The FOIA case gets dismissed with prejudice, despite it being a technicality. And the appellate court rules on everything you could possibly say, saying that you have no standing to file an intervention. And even if you did, go fuck yourself. You don't have a right. And now we're thinking, okay, do we go to the Supreme Court? Because that would be the next step, the Supreme Court of Minnesota. Well, we don't really have to do that because guess what? The Supreme Court controls the rules of the court in Minnesota, and the Supreme Court has received guidance from one person in particular who is actually the county clerk of Candy Ojai, who was the person who I believe turned away the third woman there to see the body cam footage at the door. She has filed a recommendation to the Supreme Court explicitly addressing our legal right to this body cam footage, explaining that when Nick Rekieta's personal attorney filed something into evidence and then later tried to retract it, there needs to be explicit rules prohibiting third parties from accessing retracted evidence. And there needs to be, under penalty of sanctions, rules that prohibit lawyers from making such mistakes, and also penalties applied if they do make such mistakes, and also tools for judges to effectively hide evidence that was submitted under, quote, a mistake, even though that evidence was entered in and actually led to the plea agreement which Nick Rekieta signed with the state. So it was used in some capacity to decide his settlement agreement with the state. But despite that, they were actually rewriting rules directly referencing what happened in this case to make sure that evidence does not enter the public, that they don't want entering the public in the future, with no groundwork laid for appeals. And so we already know, because this is going already to the state Supreme Court, the state Supreme Court probably would rule against us anyways. That's what that means. So they basically said, go fuck yourself on the FOIA case. They said, absolutely go fuck yourself on the appellate case. And the Supreme Court has recommendations in front of it by the same people who just said, go fuck yourself, for them to make new rules to extra super say, go fuck yourself to anybody trying to do this in the future to gain access to something that the courts don't want them to get access to. So that's what's happening. They basically telegraphed already that they will not hear us if we submit to the Supreme Court. Now, we could submit to the Supreme Court of the United States of America, and there's actually a really good basis for this. If you've been following this case, in Arkansas, there was a similar issue where this guy, I believe this guy, is being charged with murder. He's being charged with murder of a pedophile. This pedophile was arrested for sex crimes against his daughter. A corrupt judge released this guy on signature bond. He immediately goes back to this guy's house and rapes his daughter again. He shoots him dead, and that corrupt judge then presses charges against him, or compels the attorney to press charges against him for murder, for protecting his daughter from a rapist that she released. He then tries to get her to recuse herself because there's a conflict of interest in the fact that the way she handled the pedophile case resulted in the murder charge, and therefore she should not be sitting on the bench presiding over that trial. She refused to recuse herself, and their argument for that she should be actually, no, this is later. She actually then, after refusing to recuse herself, clamps down and says that there should be no access of the media to this case. Complete and total blackout. The media then intervenes in this criminal case and goes all the way up to the Supreme Court, saying that she has no right to sit on this bench and she has no right to cut media access for a criminal trial. The Supreme Court agrees and tells her in a not so subtly worded opinion that she better open the fucking case up. She had no right to do this. Go fuck yourself. She then closes it again and says no media access. So then they have to go up to the Supreme Court again, and the Supreme Court kicked her off the bench because she is ignoring the Supreme Court. So this is exactly what we would have referenced if we decide to go to the Supreme Court. But here's the issue. You may not think this because he's my attorney, and there's no way I have a really cool attorney, but Matthew Hardin's a very cool guy, and he represents a lot of really cool people, and he does a lot of really cool stuff. Right now, he's super busy because he's involved in a lot of cool stuff. I don't want to talk about because I don't know if he's okay with me talking about it, but he's got his hands in many pots, and he's a fucking freedom fighter. He goes out and he tries to find ways to make his legal knowledge useful, even if it's not the most obscenely profitable practice. Bromka is a state prosecutor in North Dakota, and he just started a big law firm with a partner, and he's very money oriented, and he won't be able to help us moving forward because he represents the state of Minnesota in some other case. So right now there's a conflict of interest for him, or sorry, his partner represents the state of Minnesota, and since they're a part of a law firm, that means that he believes he cannot represent us in a case against Minnesota because his law firm partner is representing the state in a different capacity. Hardin actually disagrees with his interpretation, but there's nothing, like, he's helping us for free. So if he thinks that there's a conflict and he doesn't want to risk it, we don't have any say in the matter. He's provided thousands of dollars of resources for absolutely nothing, and so has Hardin. And the only money I paid him is probably less than $1,000 just to cover filing fees for the free work that he's done to try and see some First Amendment, constitutionally protected media access to criminal evidence that was used to render a criminal plea agreement. And when I think about the stuff that they're up to and how cool it is, and I think about Nick Rekieta, I just think it's such a phenomenal waste of their fucking time to ask them to involve themselves in this pig shit. Nick Rekieta is like too low for Jerry Springer or Maury Povich at this point. The last clip I saw of him was the one I played on stream, and he just looked like such a fucking loser. He is such a fucking loser, and I can't even stand to listen to him. Like, his voice just grates on me. He's got an obnoxious personality. He's a fucking crackhead, alcoholic who fucked up his entire life and his kids' lives, and he killed a dog, and I don't want anything to do with him. And I feel really bad for asking two people who have really cool things that they work on, who spend their precious time pursuing something like this. So even though I really, really, really want the body cam, actually, I don't even give a fuck anymore. Like, Rekieta is so nasty that I don't have any interest in talking about him because he's just such an insufferable fuck. And I hope that he just languishes in absolute obscurity and sucks his own dick to an audience of less than 100 people, which is what he deserves. And every day he's going to wake up and his kids are going to resent him because they fucked up, or he fucked up their lives, and ruined their home. And I don't have to do anything to punish him, and I don't even care. Like, I've seen the notes of the body cam footage, and I get it. It's a hoarder house. The dog was kept in a fucking bathroom and shit all over the place. Their kids didn't have access to food or clean clothes. I get it. I understand. I know what that looks like. I've seen it a bunch of times before. So, here's the thing. As I said, I have not spent all the money for the fundraiser. That was $6,005 that we fundraised for this. In light of the fact that Ricada killed his dog, and because he's saying that, or other people are saying that don't like me, that I stole this money, I'm going to donate $6,005 worth of cryptocurrency to this shelter. And in fact, if you want to adopt a pet, I looked through there. Oh, I'm blocked because I'm using a VPN, but I did look through. They had a couple cool dogs. I was thinking that'd be really cool to get a dog, but it would be painful to try and get a dog down to Florida. So I'm just going to drop all of it, even the money that I already spent on filing fees. I'm going to wash my fucking hands of this. If Hardin and Sean and him had some kind of plan, I don't know if they want to go through with it, because it's just so obvious at this point that Minnesota is just a corrupt shithole. It's a corrupt fucking shithole. It's a fucking garbage state. It's full of fucking Somalis. They're getting raped to death. Their governor is a crook. They stole all this money. And it's like, is anything going to change? Is our bullshit little lawsuit going to change anything? Are we really going to win? If we have to go to the Supreme Court, is it worth the $10,000 to file in the Supreme Court? And it's not. It's really not. So if they want to do it, I will support them. I will help with filing fees and stuff. I'll advertise. If they want to, that proposed rule that would change the way that we could do something funny and submit comments to the proposed rule, but they don't give a fuck. They don't give a fuck. They're corrupt. Nick Ricada has money. His family obviously has ties in the government. They all want to help him sweep it up. He wants to do coke and fuck up his life and be an alcoholic and abuse his kids and feed his dog rat poison. They'll sweep it up for him endlessly. So, what do I want to say? So I want to say Kiwi Farms. No, let's see. What can I say that's nice? Help me. I'm not good with words, chat. What's something nice that's not going to like cause the people to like freak out and refund me my money? Sneed. How about this? Well, make it really tongue in cheek. From Josh, Matt, Oliver, Sean, and Sneeders Worldwide. There we go. That's nice. I do not want to enter a custom amount. What? Oh, I have to like manually say I don't want to give you any money? I'll give you 1%. How about that? That's $60 still. That's fine. I am not associated with a foreign source of money. I don't want to stay in touch. I'm sorry. This is a one-time thing. Okay, I'm doing BTC. Oh boy. I mean, Phil, I don't know what's gonna. I use this for streaming, but I don't know what's gonna pop in. Yeah, nothing. That's what I thought. I don't know why it's asking for an address to submit a donation. Okay. There we go. Trezor, where are you? This is the exact moment, by the way, when I was getting set up that I accidentally wiped my hardware drive and almost sent myself into a spastic fit. I have to manually enter in the BTC amount? What? Can I just take a picture of this? I don't want to type that fucking number in. That's a really big number. No. I really do have to type the number in? Oh my god. I'm glad I only gave them a 1% tip. What the fuck kind of system is that? Let me just scan the whole thing, get the amount too. Okay, amount to send. 0.07730002601105427. Too many decimals. Okay. I guess I'll bump it up to a 3. And then I'll send this with a high amount of things. Enter in my PIN code, which is of course 000000 for null. Let's confirm BC1Q LA273 2DKE. All right, I'm now $6,000 poor, and I consider this matter fucking resolved. And Ethan Ralph really should have taken my bet. I don't know what to tell him. All right, I think that's it. All right, we will come back to this in the future chat, and we will see if it goes through. I'll prove. I'm a man of my word. In case you're wondering, this is completely authorized. Everyone who donated agree that if there are excess funds or if our request is denied and no participants consent to having the footage released, the money will be donated to an appropriate charity at my sole discretion. And I think that the heckin' look, there's me right there, third from the left. Okay, right next to Hijabi woman. Can I refresh this and see my amount now? Where's my amount? I better see my fucking amount. Okay, I'll come back to this, and I better see my fucking amount. Okay. Oh, it's processing. Okay. Once they confirm it, then my fucking amount will show up. All right, that's the Balldo segment. By the way, I need money. matttheinternet.locals.com, matttheinternet.gumroad.com. Subscribe now. I'm 2/3 of my way to my goal, okay? All right. I'm now going to proceed to the Neil Maham unsafe segment. Oh, should I wait? Should I wait for the YouTube audience to make sure that it goes through? No. It says it's processing. We'll email confirmation when it's completed. I guess they're checking it to make sure that I didn't put swastikas in the comment or something to offend people. So, it's called the Granite Act, by the way. The Granite Act is not the Slate Act. The Granite Act is the one that Preston Burns was working for. So, all right. Sorry, YouTube, but you know how it is. I have to talk about certain people, certain complexions, and they don't like that on YouTube too much because they run it. And I should put up the QR code while I'm doing this. Here it is, the QR code. It's precious. It's magical. Whoa, YouTube people. Whoa. All right, 3, 2, 1. Where is it? Die, YouTube, die. Where's the thing at to change my streams? I wanted to say, why can't I do it? Oh, there it is. Bye. All right. The YouTubers are gone, finally. Free like a bird now. This bird you cannot change. Okay. On the India segment, let's start. Okay. Start it off right. We have Senator Saddam Aslan Salim says, today I introduce SB 749, a bill to ban assault weapons, an issue I ran on in 2023. Virginians are tired of living in fear of a mass shooting and tired of government inaction. This ends this year. At Giffords.org, every town in Brady Buzz. This received 91 likes. So Senator Salim came into our beautiful country, which has its beautiful constitution, divinely inspired by God himself, including the 10 amendments from the Bill of Rights, and has decided, you know what, fuck this shit. Allah says that the The infidels do not deserve firearms. We're going to pass this bill. As I said, Virginia is a very rural state, and it's bizarre that they have such a democratic government. And that's entirely because the people in Virginia have just completely given up and have let Democrats run everything and take over their party. Next, death of an Indian tech worker. A wave of suicides and widespread AI-fueled layoffs reveal a workforce under extreme pressure. Remember when I was talking about Claude and how base Claude was and how Claude made me feel like I was running an entire group of like 100 Indians? This is why. I am literally replacing 100 Indians with my Claude. So Claude is actually the most base thing ever created. Anybody who is anti-Claude is unfortunately just wrong to be. He is actively doing more to stop Stan than anybody else on the planet. Thank you, Claude. Then there's this asshole. Joke of the day, the head of the U.S. Cybersecurity Agency leaked internal documents to ChatGPT. Now they're accessible to everyone. According to Politico, acting head of U.S. Cybersecurity and Infrastructure Security Agency, CISA, Mahood Gotomukula, uploaded internal files to the public version of ChatGPT for work purposes. The documents were not classified, but were marked for official use only. As a result, CISA contracts, cybersecurity materials, and other sensitive documents were exposed. The irony, Goto Mukula had previously failed a polygraph test when he personally pushed to introduce. In the end, rank-and-file employees were suspended, not him. So, we put this fucking retard in charge of our cybersecurity, and now he is personally uploading internal documents to ChatGPT, exposing them to the entire world. We thank you, and it sucks to work for CISA and have to eat shit for this guy's behalf. And next, we can say suffer Europeans. Let me just play this video for you guys.
Finally, Prime Minister Narendra, we both know our greatest wealth are our people. That is why I'm so glad that we are signing an agreement on mobility. We will facilitate the movement of students, researchers, seasonal and highly skilled workers. And this is also why we are launching the first EU legal gateway office in India. It will be a one-stop hub to support Indian talent moving to Europe in full alignment with EU member states' needs and policies. This is good for our economies. This is good for the friendship between our people. And this openness benefits us all. As we conclude this 16th summit, let me reflect on another event of deep meaning. 2 weeks ago, India marked Makar Sankranti. It's the beginning of Uttarayan. The sun.
Dude, like the Indian guy recording this is like snorting and laughing as she's talking. Like, what a fucking idiot this bitch is.
Northward journey. From darkness to light, from stillness to growth, from what was to what can be. And that is what makes our summit so unique and timely. The time is right for renewal, for fresh momentum, and for opening a new chapter in EU-India friendship. And this is exactly what we have achieved together today. Thank you very much.
Safa EU, Safa. I hope you like Indians. That's what we're gonna do. We're just gonna send you guys all of the Indians. They're all angry at us, like, no, Yusa, you cannot do this to us, you cannot do this to us, and we're just gonna send them all the Indians and be like, you know what, you guys have to deal with this now. We don't want to deal with this anymore. Fuck you guys. Next. This is a song that is now banned in Australia. So Pauline Hanson, the leader of Australia's right-leaning Populist Party released a song making fun of troons in advance of some animated political satire movie they're putting out. It reached #1 on the Australian music charts, and Apple pulled it from the store, allegedly because if it got too popular, there'd be some kind of obligation for the radio stations to play it. Apparently, they got the woman who sang the original song it's a parody of to sing it. And then this, I think it got banned on, it got pulled off Apple Store. Okay.
Mwah.
You will respect my pronouns. Not all ladies have ovaries, some have a penis. They say that I'm a he, but I'm a she. Cause I gotta be another
Oh, you guys can't see it.
I don't care what people say. I'll never be a him or them. Cause I'm a real biological woman. A real biological woman. Cause you know I'm the original thought. I was born this way, it's in my DNA. I'm a real biological
Woman.
My baby has no gender. I hope it's a bender. Don't joke on you woke. Joke.
My guilt is embedded in my genes. Got flags in my bio to the knee. Shaped stone from the river to the sea. No job, but I breed LGBT.
Q plus, you bigot. Mwah.
Cause I'm a real guy.
Oh, he did the thing that I do, where he always has to say plus Q plus. That's the important part, chat. So this got to #1 on the most bigoted app store on the planet, and they had to pull it. It was really tragic. In case you don't know, they have no sense of humor, apparently. The good news on Jonathan Yaniv. In case you don't know, oh, these are lovely AI pictures. Thank you. I really wanted to see this. This guy Meow Mix like took over like the Jonathan Yaniv hate train or whatever. I'll remind people because this is one of those things that I brought up for kind of recently, but just to make it clear, Jonathan Yaniv went by what was his name before? Trusted Nerd. And he met the co-founder of Twitter, and he had this incredible ability to censor the entire internet. He had people banned off of WordPress, which is notoriously hard. He had people banned off of Twitter for even saying his name. Like, it's important to remember that these people once controlled the entire internet, and there were only like a few websites where you could even dare say anything about them. Of which the Kiwi Farms was one, which is why they kept trying to shut it down. But yeah, Yaniv had an immense amount of power relative to who he is, and that is all gone now. And I think it started to end. Oh, it ended because he kept suing women. He kept trying to get women to wax his balls, and what he would do is he would find women that ran cosmetology studios in like their own house, and he would call up these one woman like waxing studios and be like, yeah, I want to come into your living room with you alone and undress, and you have to wax my balls as if it was a Brazilian wax for like a vagina. And they would say no. Then he would sue them by filing a complaint in the Human Rights Tribunal, which is in Canada, and it's a special constitutional court. And when you file a complaint there, you don't have to get a lawyer or anything. The government pursues this for you. And then the defendant actually does have to get a lawyer. So imagine you're getting sued, and the person suing you doesn't even have to do anything. They just complain, and then you're instantly on the hook, and you're just fucked. That's basically what he did to a bunch of women who refused to touch his penis, despite not being licensed to do a wax on a penis at all. So after this started, it was just such a hilariously horrible situation that it caught national and international media attention, and that is what it took. That's how far he had to take this in order for him to lose favor and stop being a specially protected person on every platform across the internet. It's really terrible. So then he is now homeless, apparently. Because he is not paying rent, and they have actually managed to go through the procedure to have him removed from the domicile. Okay, that's it. He's homeless. His life is falling apart. He's miserable. I'm very happy to hear that. He's a gigantic piece of shit. And honestly, he deserves much worse, but I can't say that. Next, Lindsay Ellis, the nostalgia chick, has deleted her Blue Sky. I don't know why. Someone on Twitter claimed that she received a backlash for her body cam video from online lefties. Lefties are mad because Lindsay Ellis released a video on Nebula about how body cams are bad, actually, and watching the true crime body cam videos makes you a diet Nazi chud. That's why it's popping up now. Well, I do like body cam videos, chat, so I guess she's not too wrong. It's not my fault that they're so good, though. Next. Okay, so there's an app called ovu.moe, and what it is it tracks the menstrual cycles of VTubers. Now, there's a couple caveats about this, okay? So you have the trending VTubers, you have the menstruating VTubers, the fertile VTubers, and then those who are currently ovulating. Now, the idea is that if you are a VTuber fan and you like it when they say dirty stuff, the thought is that during certain windows of their cycle, they will be more sexually promiscuous as a result of hormones, chat. So what they do is when the VTuber horny post, they start putting the horny post into a calendar, and then they assume that the actress has a normal length cycle, and based off the observations here, the horny post, this one, she's saying that her stomach hurts, that she's taking pain medications, that her head hurts. So they're assuming that these are evidences that she is on her period and are using that to calculate her cycle. This one, when they're just assuming that tummy hurts, it just means like menstrual cramps. So they're using this kind of stuff to calculate the ovulation cycles. And the idea is that you want, if you're a horny retard, you want to watch the VTubers on their ovulation windows, because then they'll be more lewd in like what they say, and then you can masturbate to that. So the VTubers are up to great science, chat. Now, of course, a smart person would be aware that VTubers horny post because they want to bilk idiots for money. But we'll get to that in a second. Oh, and the other meme is that they treat trannies as real women. So if the tranny complains about having a head hurting, they put it down as having a menstrual cycle. So this is LGBTQIP plus positive, chat. Next, Hector Martin has, as you may be aware, Hector Martin did a very spicy Latinx taco burrito coding live stream as a VTuber called Asahi Lena, and founded a fork of Linux called Asahi Linux, which they branded after their own model. However, after having fallout with their tranny girlfriend, and abandoning the Asahi Linux project because, so let me give you a quick rundown in case you forgot. Hector Martin is the person who announced that Bu had committed suicide, which started a early iteration of Drop Kiwi Farms. We lost DreamHost as our domain registrar as a result. Lots of people went after the forum. We got blamed for it, even though the Kiwi Farms had like a 2-page thread on him that didn't even have his docs until after he committed suicide. And Hector Martin was the one pushing for us to be extra super murdered. Then he became a tranny. Then he became a tranny VTuber. Then he became a tranny VTuber Actually, he was already an open source software contributor. He was friends with Bu because Bu was like a contributor to an N64 emulator project. And Hector Martin was a contributor to Linux, I think. And then at some point, he kept being a dickhead to people in the open source community, specifically with the Linux kernel. And they told him to go get fucked because he was an asshole. And so he cried about it, and he decided to quit free and open source software altogether. And that meant abandoning his own Linux fork called Asahi Linux, which meant that he was now Asahi Lena, named after a fork of Linux that he was no longer a contributor to. which is quite awkward. So he has formally rebranded his VTuber persona to Hoshino Lina. And he says here, let me just read this. As of this day, over a year since the above was written, Luna has force pushed the Inochi 2D. Oh, Inochi 2D was his open source rigging software for VTubing that was competing with the commercial rigging things, face rigging systems that all the other VTubers use. Main branch to reset it to the V08 branch, which is she has done some refactoring on over the past couple months, quietly replacing the entire 0.9 development history, including the commits where she erased most of the existing code of my own contributions. She's now sweeping the entire charade, which caused her largest contributor other than myself to fork under the rug, and is acting like this is a matter of choosing what to call 0v9. So the tranny X is now completely rewriting his code contributions so that he cannot be credited at all on the thing that he helped build. And this is causing him much stress, much anxiety, much pain. Now, my favorite punching bag, Shondo. Shondo decided to grift for New Year's Eve. I want to show you the grift. And it would be much easier. I actually downloaded this so that we can not buffer this shit. Where is this? I gave it the wrong day. There it is. It's 0350117. Okay. So let's just skip like 5 minutes in like this. So this is the New Year's stream. Shondo's in the UK welcoming in the new world, okay? That noise, by the way, is just continuous. If people post the head pat emoji in chat, it pats her head like with this overlay and makes this extremely annoying sound. There's nothing I can do for it. I have to skip through to find something that's her crying.
Why are we in mode only? Mods are...
The mods put it in emotes only so that
moderating. I appreciate
so that people can't make fun of her.
You know,
I went crying.
Venus is friends. It's not even depression anymore. It's everything. We had a suicide pact, you know.
She's talking about her mom who killed herself. Told her that if she kills herself, she also has to kill herself. So she was trying to get some super chats. What's the word for a red super chat? They call it a supa or something when it's like a red super chat.
Man.
Akasupa, that's it. Thank you, J-Man1892.
I wish I could be normal. I wish that I could be okay and excited for everything. But I don't know how to do that.
No, she's doing the baby voice still, which is how you can tell she's faking it. If you can keep up the baby voice while drunk and crying about how you want to kill yourself, it's probably fake. She says in this that there's no way her life can get any worse and that she's just hoping to maintain in 2026. She's just hoping to get by because her life is so hard and she's burdened now. Okay, she's crying on live for the Akasupas. And it paid off. Guess who just got a mortgage on a house? It's right. After doing the little shuck and jive on the live stream and crying for the Akasupas, she just signed a mortgage on a brand new house in the UK where there's a housing shortage. Very nice. Paying off 2026 to a strong start after all. Congratulations, Shondo, on your new house. Funny. And by the way, I can't show you this, but like right before she posted this, there was like a lolicon drawing where you could see. I I don't know how to describe this without participating in it. It's like lolicon, but it's like dress characters, and it's just showing midriff with like the groin lines, and then she replies to this picture of sexualized children with the word sex, like just sex, which I suppose you could plug that into. Is Shondo even? Let's see where Shondo is on that fertility cycle, chat. What? Why can't I see Shondo? Am I like banned? Did they track my IP from using this and ban me from it? I'm like, is my internet dead? My internet's still up. The Kiwi Farms is working. This has no excuse. I think I just like look. They saw this live, pulled up the request log, and banned my VPN live. Let me try to search it. See if we can just find the page directly. Shandu uvu.mo. Oh wait, there it goes. Shondo. Give me. Not ovulating, according to this. Who am I? Who am I to say that this is wrong? No, not fertile, chat. Not fertile. Maybe they need to update it. They need to put in the lolicon thirst baiting shit into their tracker to get a more narrow window of recycle, chat. No eggs? I don't know. Maybe her anorexia has made her eggless, chat. Really shocking. Mm. I don't think my thing went through. Oh man, I'm gonna be. I'm really scared. I don't think it went through. I might have to redo it. I'm really scared to do that because I don't know. I don't think it's sent twice. It doesn't show up on this at all. I'm been looking at it, trying to show people when it went through, and I don't see it. I might redo that real quick. Hold on. I'm really scared too, though, because if I do it twice, I'm gonna be pissed off. Yeah, I'm gonna have to like single-handedly fund the fucking dog fund like a fucking retard. But I don't. I mean, I really don't see it, so I think I fucked up. I really can't catch a break. Give me a second shot. If it doesn't go through this time, I'm just gonna have to do it after the stream. I'm I'm not trusting the fucking. Here, how about this? Starting to get very wary of the fucking app because it tried to wipe my device one time and now it's not sending it. I'm like, it's a little bit sussy baka. So everyone likes these dead air streams where I'm just fucking with technology the entire time. Okay, my treasure is ready to go, which means that then I can connect to it. Yeah. And then it shows Okay, and I don't see the previous transaction. So I don't think it happened. Let me resend it. Hopefully I don't double spend, because that would be embarrassing to have to ask a charity for money back. Which is totally what I would do, by the way, in case we're curious here. Okay, review and send. Actually, can I make that higher? Now review and send. That looks right. ZCWHZC Q6C5G. Confirm the amount and the fee. Now send. Now it's sending. Now I see the confirmation and the transaction as pending. Now I've sent the donation. And oh, I forgot to put in the message. So this one, when it goes through, it won't have my quirky message. But you'll know it's me, chat. Okay, that one definitely went through. So we'll check back on that one shortly, chat, shortly. Okay, next, Linus Tech Tips. I did not double. You guys are like fucking with me. No, because I'm checking it. The last one was for $20. Nice try, chat. Okay. So this guy, now I'm not a person who follows Linus Tech Tips, right? But apparently this guy is very important to Linus Tech Tips, and apparently Linus Tech Tips is feeling like this. I remember I mentioned this. Linus joined the forum, and all he posted was like this screed about how we suck at making fun of him, and we aren't hurting his feelings at all, which is a very weird thing to say. And to verify this, he's done okay. Apparently, his company's not doing too well. Apparently, he's not meeting 1 million view goals like he would have hoped. His top talent is a tranny and this fucking guy who's just left. And to make up the difference. Okay, what he basically says is this: the projects had too little time to be completed and were never properly finished. There were too many people trying to delegate problems downwards forever, and that they would not give him a pay raise despite him being an OG employee of Linus Tech Tips. But his boss was getting a third house, so he felt like he was being cheated despite his quality. Meanwhile, Linus Tech Tips has opened LMG plane called Influencer Air. So Linus Tech Tips opened a air company called Influence Air, and has taken a few flights from California to New York for the Jimmy Fallon show. And he's bought a private jet, a heavy private jet, which is one of those private jets that you would see in like a movie to show how rich the guy is. As apparently it's like an extraordinarily high dollar purchase to buy one of these fucking things. So these are the flights. It's gone from Vegas to Vancouver to New York. Influencer Air has. So I don't know what the fuck it is with like fading star YouTubers and buying private jets, but they have done so for some reason. Okay. So this guy is quitting because he's not getting paid enough. Meanwhile, Linus is buying a heavy aircraft or heavy private jet. And this is it. So this is the 2025 listing. It was 1990 Falcon 900B. It is a heavy private jet, considering the most luxurious private class available. We estimate the purchase to be between $5 and $6 million, and then you get to fly in this between. Oh wow, it has a gold. Dude, people who like are new money have absolutely no taste whatsoever. I was looking at a listing. I was on Zillow for some reason. I saw, because my IP, my proxy was in New York, it started showing me like places in Manhattan, and it showed me this like $150 million condominium, and it was like a 40,000 square foot penthouse that overlooked Central Park, and actually $128 million, and it just had like this chandelier. Every single surface was like marble. It was like just extraordinarily poor poor taste. Like it made me think of like Animal Crossing. Like when you start playing Animal Crossing, you buy things that look nice for your house, and then you try to get it to look right. And then when you're like max leveled, you just like, yeah, I'm gonna throw the Tyrannosaurus Rex statue like right in the middle of the room, and I'm gonna put down all my achievement items somewhere, and then you just have like this room of like achievement shit. And it's not even like a nice looking house anymore. It's just like, yeah, this is all the shit that I accomplished in my run. So yeah, it's like it doesn't even look good. It's like this is just like the top level stuff I could fit into a room. It feels like that. Why are people just like spurging out in chat about fucking nothing? What the fuck is this? Fuck off. Stop ruining my fucking chat to be about fucking bullshit. I just keep looking down and it's just like people like spamming garbage. Like, fuck off. Next. Andrew Tate regrets ever associating with Nick Fuentes. Surprise, surprise. Let's hear it from... my favorite thing, by the way, about Andrew Tate is that he does the Ethan Ralph thing of hiding his googly eyes because he looks so fucking hideous. Let's hear what he has to say.
So when I did see that clip, I was like, I know these guys, they're better than that. But
yeah, I rolled in the mug with the pigs. It was a mistake.
So that was a mistake.
I mean, hanging around with is always a mistake.
Do you
That's
have...
why I only hang around with top G's like you, Steiny.
Yes, exactly. My God, thank you. My only thing being on that, when you see some of these guys double down on that, are you noticing they're making a mistake and they should just say...
I don't give a shit, but they have nothing to lose. They're in a different position than me. But, you know, they're kids who are obsessed with clicks and obsessed with internet validation. If they want to double down or whatever, it's their decision. It's up to them. They're in charge of their own lives. They have their own life path. I truthfully hope for all of them, even the started that mess, I really hope they all end up happy.
Yeah.
I hope everything works out for them. I'm not a hateful person. I'm not a resentful person. I just know how my life's going to go. And unless people learn a little bit about how the world works, I know how their lives are going to go. And they have to learn the hard way.
He's literally sitting here saying, Jews fund me because I am a brain parasite that feasts on the weak-minded. And they told me I can't play with you guys anymore because you guys are anti-Semitic. And I'm not going to fund you anymore because you guys are going against the people who fund me. And that's the way the world works. That's the way the world works. And if you know, I got my future. I got my future. And if you want to be a part of my future, you can't get in the way of what I want. So when that fucking Miriam Gaines guy was going like, the Jews are mad. The Jews are mad. The Jews were literally paying for that limo. And now he's getting cut off. And now everyone's like, no. Tate owns a tech company in Israel, by the way. Steiny. And then we have Andrew Tate, big nose, Jew shirt. Very funny. So Nick Fuentes taking that 7-figure gold deal. Andrew Tate saying, you got to know how the world works, don't you? Very suspicious, very fun. Good time to be a groiper who bought into all this shit. And it's a good time to get raped for being a retard. Suffer. Our boy Hassan Piker met up with Omar Fateh, who was running for Congress, I want to say. I want to say he also lost. He lost because the other guy was like... he was associated with the other Somali tribe that was he was running for mayor or something, right? He was running against that Feig guy who won. Yeah, he was running for mayor of Minneapolis and he lost to the Jewish guy, and everyone was very surprised by that. Like, how did this guy lose to the Jewish guy? And it turned out that the Jewish guy had been courting favors from the enemy tribe of Somali that Omar Fateh was not a part of. And they came out in stronger numbers to vote for him because they didn't want to support a Somali of a different tribe, and that's who won. So what's his face met up with him. He always looks so stupid. I guess he tries to dress like a Chinese Communist Party member, but he just looks so fucking dumb. I don't understand. You have all this, like I said, money can't buy taste. You could look like even the black guy, like even Omar Fateh, like he looks normal. He looks like he went out to Bass Pro Shop and went and got like one of those nice redhead jackets or whatever. And it's just like, he just looks normal. And then this guy looks like such a fucking dork. And then he also got banned from Twitch. I think because he went on some rant about how we need to like use violence against ICE or whatever, because it's literally fascism or some shit. And then he complained about it. This is obviously just like cope. He's probably banned for less than a day. He gets. I think what happens is that whenever Hassan needs to show that he's not a part of Twitch's management, he's like, I'm planning on taking like a weekend off to go do something. I'm gonna go meet Omar Fateh this weekend. So, I might do like a little rant about ICE and how fascism is bad, and then I might get a little bit too edgy. And then Dan Clancy's like, okay, I'll get you 48 hours mid rant. We'll be looking out for that. The code word is going to be bash the fash or stuck like a pig. You say stuck like a pig, and we'll ban you for 48, and then you can take your trip up to Minnesota to go see Omar Fateh. And they're like, okay, that sounds really good. And it's like a publicity stunt. And it's like, no, we seriously take anti-violent rhetoric. He got banned, and as soon as he said the violent words, we were right there with the ban hammer. We got him for 48 as per TOS, and that's going to cost. It's really going to hurt him. It's really going to hurt him to take those 48 hours off. And then everyone gets what they want. He looks like a hero to his fan base. Dan Clancy gets to tell Amazon that no, really, he's actually doing his job. The world spins, and nothing happens. Kanye, on the other hand, speaking of Jews and rocking, decided to take out a full-page advertisement in the Wall Street Journal called "To Those I've Hurt." Kanye West explains that 25 years ago, he was in a car accident which caused frontal lobe injury. He underwent brain surgery to reconstruct his skull, and he was never imaged for brain damage, which he believes has exacerbated his bipolar type 1. He says that he takes responsibility for his hurtful anti-Semitic behavior. He apologizes to Jews, and he says unequivocally, quote, "I love Jewish people." He then apologizes to the black community for letting them down because he was a pillar of the black community. He hopes to redevote his time to making energetic and positive music going forward. I like this one. This comment in particular is my favorite, so I'll read this verbatim. Towards the end of his ad, he says, "I have found comfort in Reddit forums of all places. Different people speak of being manic or depressive episodes of a familiar nature. I read their stories and realize I am not alone. It's not just me who ruins their entire life once a year despite taking meds every day and being told by so-called best doctors in the world that I am not bipolar, but merely experiencing symptoms of autism." So he concludes by saying, "I am not asking for sympathy or a free pass, though I aspire to earn your forgiveness. I write today simply to ask for your patience and understanding as I find my way home. With love, Kanye." Or Ye, I suppose. And there you go. Kanye has walked off the path of hate and anti-Semitism onto the path, the well-trodden path, the safe path of Reddit. And I wish him luck on his future endeavors. Meanwhile, Kirtaner, who you may not remember, but I'll refresh you. Kirtaner was a former hacker. He claimed to be a part of Anonymous, and He, during Drop Kiwi Farm, said that it was his personal mission and duty to completely obliterate the Kiwi Farms from the face of the earth and see Joshua Moon in prison for life for my crimes. Unfortunately for him, that was cut short because he was extradited from Canada to the United States to face trial for hacking charges. And his mother is now begging for money to give him commissary in the U.S. He says here, help Kirtaner's mother. She says, please help Aubrey Cottle's mother, Aubrey Cottle, a man many of you know through his online handle Kirtaner, has found himself in federal custody because of a spurious complaint against him. Aubrey possesses a strong moral compass and has done so much for the online community. Putting aside any regard for his own safety, his situation can only be described as purely political. He is stuck in prison for the time being, and his possessions must be moved into storage by competent movers. All of this has been left to his mother to handle, but it's becoming a painful stretch to bankroll all of it by herself. This fund will help pay for the movement and storage of Aubrey's possessions, as well as helping defray the cost of her visiting him 2 hours away from her home in Toronto. She does not own a car, so she must rent one each time she visits. There's also the expense of his commissary and the phone calls for him to keep in touch with the outside world. Those calls help with his mental health, but they can be expensive and limited to 20 minutes each time. She has a hard time asking for help, and she is not asking for the world, just some help during this trying time. Thank you so much. It raised $588 over 3 donations, all of which are anonymous. Very cool. Some relevant tweets, by the way. I think his mum is on, who is going by Anonymum, which is clever, I guess. She's saying, hi there, peoples. Just an update on Aubrey. He's doing well. Coping as always. Oh, my boy, Kirtaner. Coping as always, as he always does. Everyone knows when you think of Kirtaner, you think of 420chan. You think of him coping. And this is you peoples. The posts on Twitter, I refuse to call it hex, ugh, are genuine, or as genuine as they can be considering the circumstance. Well, I am also coping. It runs in the family, the coping does. And I speak to him on the daily. If anyone has a message for him, please let me know and I'll relay it. I've gathered his stuff and put it into storage. There's an adventure and a great exercise and expensive. Not bad for a 73-year-old. Next, if anyone can help financially, you don't have to, and I have a really difficult time asking. But if you're in a position to help, that would be appreciated. You all help just by being here and giving good thoughts and wishes. I love all of you. I want to thank those who have helped already. And then post her PayPal address. Adrienne Rockenhouse, who is 80, asked for show proof of life. You don't remember, 80 was the one who picked up the ass napkins. Ethan Ralph, once upon a time, fucked this woman who, prior to Ralph, had fucked one of the other ED sysops, and he had anal leakage. He claimed that his anus leaked shit all the time because he had been so horribly raped in the ass as a child that he was fecally incontinent, and instead of taking care of this in any good way, would simply stuff napkins up his ass. And as he walked about the house, these poopy, leaky napkins would fall from his ass to the ground. And 80, during their time together, would pick these ass napkins up and throw them away for him, as he would not do so on his own. This is not a joke. This is a true story. There is a thread on the Kiwi Farms. You can go find it if you want to go find it. Kurt is still incarcerated. Just talked to him. He says hi, and that his Twitter account is being handled by someone very close to him. And let me check real quick. Did that thing come through? Did you get that thing I sent you? No. Oh man, if I double donate, I'm gonna be so pissed. That one definitely went through though. I think. Did it not? It's still there. Oh, it's confirmed times 2. They usually wait till times 6. Okay. Next. Harvey Birdman. That's right. I was referencing Harvey Birdman. Lakari says, during my last stream, I opened Notepad, which revealed a link. If you don't remember last stream, I talked about Lakari. He's a guy I've never spoken about before, and I probably, hopefully, will never have to speak about him again. Oh, actually, there's a video I want to find real quick before I read this so that I can play it immediately after. I'm sorry. Wait. Oh, I guess it was after. Now, there's no way I played this on stream. I guess there's a chance I could have. Did I talk about this last stream? I don't think I did. Oh, Mythic Talent kicked him off. Ha! Is this not? Hold up. I have to find. I have. This is one thing where it's like, now that I've thought about it, I have to stop this and try to find this. Nothing else matters. Aha! I did find it. Why is... Dude, this has to be a feature. Why is this not postmarked in the thread? This is bullshit. I'm postmarking it right the fuck now so that other wary, wayward souls can find their way home. It's true. I can't postmark it. I'm not signed in on the fucking... Oh my god, bro. Just can't catch a break today. Okay, I did postmark it. Open video, new tab. And then my site will struggle. Oh, this is the other thing that happened. I didn't even mention this when I was complaining about everything being horrible at the beginning of the stream. I did because it's the January, and I tried to do certain things to make sure everything's on the up and up. I checked the health of our disk array on the Kiwi Farms. The disk array was in what's called a RAID 6 configuration. Technically, it was through ZFS, but it's basically RAID 6, which is you have... we had 8 disks, and they were rated together. And you give redundancy to a disk array by giving striping so that there's redundant data. And this means that you can lose 2 disks in a RAID 6 configuration without having any data loss. So I did a review of our situation. I discovered that for some reason when the server was built, they used resident or like consumer grade SSDs and not enterprise. 2 of the disks had failed, and 2 of them were at 50% wear, which means that in the next 6 months, there was a 60% chance that there would be catastrophic data loss. So edging or betting on that happening sooner rather than later, I decided to immediately move us off to remote storage and decommission that RAID so that nothing was on it. And that's why the attachments are so very slow right now. So the... on top of me getting fucked in the ass by absolutely everything, I had to drop $3,000 I did not have on a personal line of credit to buy 8 different hard drives so that I could replace the failing array with actual HDDs that can store the files we need. It was, by the way, it was at 22 terabytes out of 24, so it was actually degrading faster than it would have normally because at over 80% usage, ZFS degrades. So it was already at like 84% usage and it was degrading. So the whole thing was fucked. I needed more space. I needed actual drives, so I got HDDs. Since it's not too, it's mostly sequential reads anyways. So I'm just suffering constantly, is what I'm trying to say. Next. Oh wait, I didn't read this. Okay, so. Oh, my left mouse button is not working right now. There it is. Okay, Lakari says, during my last stream, I opened Notepad, which revealed a link. Now, as I was trying to say before I had an aneurysm, The link was a sharing link for a specific kind of way that gooners share massive amounts of pornography with each other, for specifically zoophilia, lolicon, and jailbait 3D porn, which is incredibly pedophilic and should have instantly resulted in this person hanging himself with the nearest rope and chair that he could possibly find. He's decided to cope about this and post this reply on the internet about his suspicious link. Okay. He says here, the link included titles that suggested child sex abuse material. Further down, I have never consumed this type of content, nor do I think it is acceptable. I decided to keep streaming in an effort to downplay the severity of the situation, which was deceptive. This was a mistake that I deeply regret and apologize for. The link gave access to abusive material for everyone to see. This is serious and harmful. I recognize that trivializing abusive material on stream is not okay and can lead to real harm. It is my responsibility to provide a safe space for my community and peers, in which I failed to do. I am taking real steps to change my ways. I admitted myself into a porn addiction recovery program that will last 30 days. During this time, I will be able to work out there while also receiving professional therapy and treatment for my addiction. Browsing hentai and porn websites as an escape has been a serious problem for as long as I can remember. This treatment will come with an indefinite hiatus to my live streams to allow myself to focus on recovery so I can hopefully contribute a net positive to society. After publishing this statement, his girlfriend decided to use this to get attention for herself. Let's see what she has to say. Oh, sorry, that's my left mouse button. It's broken still. Hold up. It's still broken. Hold up. Oh, you can't hear this. Why can't you hear this? I wonder to myself. Okay. Let's do this. You guys didn't get to hear my left arrow key faux pas. That's good for you. I'll reply. Oh, you still can't hear it. This is a serious question, chat. Oh, I have it at -83. Okay, the left arrow key adjusted the volume slider to -83 decibels, so you can't hear it, and it looks like it's just not working. Let's try again.
If the content could potentially be illegal, in which he replied, I don't know.
What? Why would you think to ask that? Why would you think to ask that? Hold on.
If the content could potentially be illegal,
What? What do you mean, dude? What the fuck do you mean? That's your second question. Was it illegal?
in which he replied, I don't know. I told him, are you still streaming? He said, yeah, I'm streaming right now.
Oh my god, guys. Holy fuck. I'll just turn it up then. I'll blast it 8 fucking decibels for you.
If the content could potentially be illegal, in which he replied, I don't know.
What? Why would you think to ask that? Why would you think to ask that? Hold on.
If the content could potentially be illegal,
What? What do you mean, dude? What the fuck do you mean? That's your second question. Was it illegal?
in which he replied, I don't know. I told him, are you still streaming? He said, yeah, I'm streaming right now. And so I told him, okay.
Dude, holy fuck, man. If Morale or Queeman or Aiden or Chud tell me they've leaked porn on stream, my first question is not going to be, was it legal porn? What do you mean?
Just...
So it seems that this coal-burning OnlyFans whore, literal OnlyFans whore, knew that he was a gooner, and when he accidentally showed that he had pornography on screen. Her first question, her very first thought was it child porn that you accidentally showed the world on your screen when you leaked this? Which is a very unusual line of questioning. Usually one would not immediately assume that your significant other was broadcasting child pornography on the internet, but for some reason, this coal-burning whore did. So there's that. He has since posted a follow-up post just yesterday to clear up some questions. Lakari says, I want to clear up 2 things while I'm getting my shit together. He says, I'm only into 2D hentai content. I do not watch, seek out, or download any real-world 3D porn. I do not engage with or support anything involving minors in any form. After the stream, the files and links that showed up were looked into. There is no illegal material in them. The problem was how bad some of the titles looked and the fact that I didn't shut things down fast enough on stream. This is on me. I handled everything poorly. I get why people are troubled and I should have taken it more seriously in that moment. I'm owning up to that, and I wanted these facts together or to be clear. Thanks for allowing me this time so I can focus on fixing myself. That is a fucking lie. The titles made it very obvious that some of them were, if not illegal, are really skirting the line. One of the main ones that stuck out was real nudism, which was a thing from the early internet. I don't know if they're still around, but they billed themselves as constitutionally protected because it was live photography of nudism colonies, which included children. And that was like the whole reason why they sold discs of this shit, because they had kids naked in them. So if that's what he was sharing, it definitely had minors in it. The other ones were called like jailbait, which got Reddit into trouble, which is why they banned our jailbait. But that was like their biggest porn board for like most of its history, because it was either illegal or looked like it could be illegal. So, and then some of it was called lolicon just explicitly. So he's just outright lying, probably for legal reasons at this point. He's probably hired an attorney. And this message is less for persuading anyone of anything or persuading people, like clearing up that he's not admitting that he watches child porn or whatever on the internet. So that's the Lakari situation. The Lakari situation is insane. Now, Jomhi has asked that I play this video of Chud Logic. Now, you may remember Chud Logic from my last stream, where I pulled up a single frame of this guy and immediately declared that he was an ugly, dysgenic freak and anyone who watches him is a retard. And that, quite frankly, the commentary community deserves a better class of criminal than these fucking losers who mug at the camera constantly. Jomi has requested that I play this clip. I have not pre-watched it. And as such, I'm going in blind. Chat, here we go.
Hey, bro. It's not my fault, bro. These little girls dress and act. They dress so that it makes them appear like they're older than they are. And then they like put...
That's not Chud. Have I been lied to by Jomi? Chud has been spotted on a holiday in U.S. saying incredibly suspect stuff. Is he lying to me? Are you telling me that this frog poster has lied to me? That's Chud logic. Chud is fact. That's the... But this was in the Chud logic thread. I have seen this before. It looks like him. Hold up. Let me get to the bottom of this. Chud logic. Do we even have a thread for this guy? It's a work in progress. It was deleted because it's terrible OP. You're right. The real Chud logic is much uglier than this guy. Let me show you. Hold up. See what I mean? This guy is like Jewish looking. And then Chud Logic looks like a mixture of like Asmongold and Jeremy Hamley. He's got that thing. He's got that really nasty looking like upturned nose, like Filtham area that Asmongold has with like the... Let me show you actually. Asmongold and him, they have this thing going on with their face that I really despise. Like my train over now. And it's like this Russell Greer face, where it's like his like mouth is like a Chinese character. It's like a cat mouth, and it has like this weird like thing to it, like this, and it upturns a bit. See what I mean? This. For some reason, that's really nasty to me. Hold up, let me show you Asmongold too. Asmongold has this exact same thing where it's like, whenever he opens his mouth, yeah, you see it? You see what I mean by the upturned nose? He has the upturned nose, right? Like that. It's like that. And then he has the Chinese character mouth. Doop. Like that. And then like this kind of swooping out like this. Or like his lips. I just hate that. I really despise how that looks. It looks terrible on people. The kind of mouth thing. There's like a Greer face. I don't like it. Anyways. This guy, what I'm trying to say is that this guy, I might as well play the clip. Oh, his name is Sir Sweet. So I should have known better, I suppose. The attribution is right there. Sir Sweet wants to own these words, chat. So let's hear what Sir Sweet has to say.
Makeup on so it makes them look like they're older than they are, and they also wear like clothes that makes them look like they're older than they are. And also, what the fuck are they doing in a bar? I thought they only allowed 21 and older people in bars. So, and I had been slamming Irish car bombs, so if you guys want to ban me out of your shitty little Discord, go right ahead. I don't fuck with you guys anymore either. You guys have literally like fucked my life over for the past like. How's it going? Pretty good. You kids want some candy?
The child instantly cries. Instantly cries. Holy shit. The dad is like on the porch. He's lucky he's not getting shot at. This motherfucker is probably a felon, or he'd already be getting shot at.
Yeah, we got some candy. What? Camera, and my camera's tiny, bro. We just saw two hot ass fucking people behind us giving us sexy eyes. That's what it looked like. Yeah, well, what are 12-year-olds doing in a fucking bar? That's all I'm trying to say.
Did you see the fuck me eyes those little 12-year-old girls were fucking giving the camera? Dude,
I can't believe Chud Logic said
we gotta
this.
use this thing to our advantage.
I like how he's not streaming on Kick. He's streaming on ick.com, which happens to have a letter K as the icon. But this guy is just straight up streaming on ick.com.
Who else saw that shit?
I condemn Chud Logic in the strongest possible terms, completely unrelated to the clip we just watched. Oh well, what a miserable stream full of miserable fucking people. I got fucking Nick Ricada. By the way, I meant to say this during my whole fuck Nick festival thing that I had going on, but I think the worst part about the Nick Ricada situation is that he's never going to know suffering. You know what I mean? Like, this is a guy who can fuck up as many times as he wants, over and over again. And let me just do some math for you guys real quick. I want to show you this. Let me just show you this. This is called VYM. This is a Vanguard high dividend yield ETF, one of the best performing dividend-based ETFs of 2024. So let me just show you what this looks like, okay? This had a dividend yield of 4.15% year to date. Okay. And then we go down to price. And you can see that a share of this is $194.48. And if you look at this price over 1 year, in January 2025, it was worth $133, which means that it has gone up by $16 thereabout, right? Which means that it has gone up by 12%. I want to say that's what it was, 12.75%, 15%, 15.5%. So it has an annual yield of 4.5% or 4.15%, and the value of this stock increases by 15% each year, or it did last year. So we can do some math here, and let's say, just spitballing a number here, that Nick Rekieta has $5 million of this stock. In the last year, his $5 million stock has become, actually I want to have one in front of that, $775,000 more. So it is now worth $5,775,000. You can then take this amount, right, and you can times this by 4.15, or rather 0.415, and that is, oh, it's because it's a period, 5750. That is $240,000 thereabout. So you can take that amount, divide that by 12, and you get almost $20,000, which means that if we were to assume that Nick Rekieta's very wealthy family put aside for him a $5 million high dividend trust account, in the last year, despite abusing his children, taking drugs, being an alcoholic, cheating on his wife, and feeding his dog rat poison, he has made more money than most people do in several years, and his actual trust has gone up by 15%. And that's why he will never ever feel any consequences, and he'll always just be a smug, condescending asshole because he has nothing to worry about. His daddy or granddaddy or whatever took care of him, set him up with some money, and now he doesn't have to worry about anybody except himself ever for any reason. And it's really, really, really disgusting, and it's very infuriating. You know what I mean? Like, you have this guy who is just completely above the law and can get the law changed to suit his needs so that he never even has to be embarrassed. He never even has to feel embarrassed for what he's done, for how he treats his own kin, for what he does to his own family. He never has to feel embarrassed about it. And in fact, even people knowing that he's a horrible cunt at all is punishment enough, and is in fact too much, is so invasive and so terrible that people even know that he's a horrific cunt. So that was part of my Rekieta spiel. Just thinking about that. So a miserable stream. Now, if only, actually, to top this off, kind of, I have some more miserableness. This is a moderator for Bossman Jack attempting to drink himself to death while gambling. Let's watch.
That bullshit. Пошел нахуй. Guys, these are our numbers. You can do better, bro. So what I'm saying is, guys, I'm going here. I'm going. I have fight with addiction all my life. All my fucking life. I can't even sleep now good. I don't feel good. Nothing. Every day I wake up, I wanted to gamble. Bavix did his thing. Smart in business, but not, he didn't care about me. I'm gonna promise you guys, you will never see me again, but remember, I love some of yous. Remember, don't gamble, don't do drugs, don't use alcohol. I'm done, and I'm doing it.
He then actually did attempt to take his own life by chugging alcohol, which put him in the hospital. He's still alive, though. This also reminds me of another thing that I meant to talk about, but I never actually set up. So I'm going to play this for you now. Speaking of misery, chat. Oh, no. No! Ah, fuck. I had edited a video for this and I saved it to the video directory of my Linux archive. Man. No, I didn't. I found it. Ah, sweet. Thank God. All right, let's take a look. Be warned, there will be an inception horn because we're going to have a mad exception here. Found it. Oh, fuck yes. Hell yeah. The return of Mobility Mary. Mobility Chantal.
Okay, guys. Moment of truth. Woo!
Dude, IP2, eat your heart out. This is an in real live stream from the perspective of a motility scooter in public on the icy sleet pathways of Canada in winter. You can't get this content from IP2. Oh, let me guess, Jewel is a fucking whore still. Oh, let me guess, that dumb bitch got knocked up by that Russian guy again. And now they're going to take her baby away because she's a methamphetamine. Yawn. Here we go. Here's the in real live streaming we need.
Well,
I don't know. Does it feel good?
Yeah, it was fine. Thank you. They're gonna be on Attila's birthday. Are you excited?
Yep.
Oh, Vega came out. That's like not the Vega I know.
Literally, the day after it was publicly announced that Jewel is indeed pregnant again with twins by that Russian guy. And guess what? They're probably going to get taken away again because she's a fucking crack whore, fucking methamphetamine addict, pig. Okay. And this is just live. All right. This is where we're at. So I just keep winning, I guess. I just keep winning. I just can't stop winning, chat. But finally, the light at the end of the tunnel. Bossman Jack is kind of back. He's still in rehab. He has many more months of rehab to go. However, where there is a will, there is a way. And with Bossman Jack, the will is very, very strong in him. So despite being on a very regulated computer with only primitive internet access and Microsoft Teams, Bossman Jack managed to get onto Discord to start talking to the boys about, how things are hanging. And using Microsoft Teams without any microphone, without any noise, he was able to play at a stellar 10 frames per second a game of shuffle for the audience. Now, he can't talk. He can't even broadcast sound because of how the thing works, but he was able to set up a Microsoft Teams session and share his screen so that he can switch between Discord and Gamba games and play for us. Now, what he would do, because he had to be very, very resourceful here, is he would actually type in the URL bar when he needed to say something because he wasn't able to speak on stream. And for some reason, he was looking for houses in Venezuela. Our suspicion is that he was looking for houses in Venezuela because Venezuela is like completely deregulated with gambling. So he might be planning to move to Venezuela so he can keep gambling chat. I want to see, does he type in the address bar in this video? We have to see. He's doing some coin flip, bros. He's doing some coin flip. And let's see, he got $40 of USDT in, and he just lost that shit like immediately. Yeah, just three. Yeah, okay. He had $40. Now he's at $4. $1.50. Back up at $3. $1.50 again. 33 cents. Is he going to keep rolling or does he type at this point? And he's done. He gives up. He's not even going to try to parlay that 33 cents into a huge win. Okay. Okay, now he's typing. Please, with Z's, Prague. So he's asking his chat to Prague for him, chat. I'm skipping a smoke break for this sesh, I think is what he meant to say before my website died on me. Okay, he's got his $13 of Ethereum in. Very exciting. What are we going to do with that $13 of Ethereum in this Microsoft Teams Gambit session? We are going back to the coin flip. Okay. He's winning. He's up big. Up to $16, chat. Up, down to 10, down to 4. Uh-oh. Oh, and then my site fucking dies again. Why can't I play it? I just want to see Gamba. I just want to see Teams Gamba. Knowing that Bossman Jack can live stream Gamba on Microsoft Teams fills me with determination. We will see him play, chat. Right. He's below $1, but he's not letting go. He's hoping. He's praying. Man, go figure, bro. Because what he's saying is that he got 5 wins in a row after he was only betting 25 cents as a spin. That's his issue. He's upset about that. And then it kills it there. So we're hopeful. We're optimistic that Bossman Jack is on his way back to us. He's fighting through his crack addiction so he can just focus on what really matters in life. And that's his gambling addiction, chat. that's what brings us joy. Okay, now it did come through. Unfortunately, the price fluctuation of Bitcoin has resulted in it being less than $6,005 as anticipated. But the donation did go through. So let it be known that of the $6,005, $5,942.84 at the time made it through. So I owe nobody anything at all. And if Hardin and Sean want to continue after this in courts, they have my full support. If we decide to troll, if we decide to leave public comments or whatever, maybe we'll do that. But as far as Balldo goes, like, his life is in fucking shambles, and it's actually really disgusting that he really thinks he's just going to go on live after poisoning his fucking dog and abusing his kids, and people are just going to, like, forgive that. Besides, like, Patrick Melton, the pedophile, like, what a fucking disgusting cohort that he's got going on. They deserve each other. And that's it. Sorry, it is a short stream. Not much happened this week besides my suffering. I do have a little bit of a Reddit segment to even us out, our moment of zen. This is in Am I the Asshole? I think. It might be like one of those splinter subs because there's like 10 million of them now with different rules. But the poster asks, am I the ass? Wait. What is AIO? AIO Reddit. I know that AIO... Oh, am I overreacting? I know that an AIO is a water cooler for your CPU, but I don't think that's what she's asking. Am I overreacting? My girlfriend left me over a cheese wheel. I, 27M, and my girlfriend, 26F, were saving for a house down payment. I work and she is unemployed. I have saved $32,000 and she's saved $4,000. So I feel like I bear the brunt of the financial decision making here. I was doing the Oxford County Cheese Trail and I found a vault release. They were selling a 140-pound wheel of 21-year-old cheddar. It was aged using a traditional cloth-bound method that's practically extinct here in Canada. And with over 21 years, it is extremely concentrated. 21-year-old cheddar often sells for $120 a pound. The farm was selling the entire wheel for $18,500. If I cut it into 200-gram wedges and sell it at $60 each, I can make a cool $38,000. I bought the cheese wheel and I brought it home in my truck. When I rolled it into our apartment at first, she was excited. When I started to explain the financials and investment potential, she turned sour. She didn't yell, but she expressed she was not happy about how I spent my share of the house savings. She is now staying with her parents. I think she is overreacting, because she doesn't understand the Canadian housing market. Our savings is not enough for a down payment without a ridiculous mortgage, and we need to take these opportunities. Am I overreacting? Or am I the only one with ambition in our relationship? Too long didn't read. My girlfriend is staying with her parents because I spent my share of our savings on a cheese wheel, which can be cut into wedges and sold for a sizable profit. Thank you. So yeah, I'm going to have to take his side of this. Obviously, that's a great business deal. He's obviously very business-minded. This post is completely unrelated to the terrible week I've been having, in case you're wondering. And that is the Reddit segment. So I'm very sorry that this is a short stream after the long delays, but I don't know what to tell you. My life is suffering. I feel bad for me. All right. Now time for the helping me afford my cheese wheel segment of the stream. Okay. Dragoons for 5 says, Josh, USPG2 or TES, you must choose wisely, my son. So if you're here for the Kiwi Farms drama segment, they were, I don't know if you can still see it. You can. So if you go to the Kiwi Farms and go to the top of the page, you'll notice that I have published advertisements for ICE and Homeland Defender, which is the Center for Immigration Services, immigration like paperwork guys that review applications. I thought that would be funny. And a lot of people did not, and said that it's very hard for them to justify using the site when I'm supporting fascist government job listings on the header of the Kiwi Farms on every page. And I replied, and I was very angry about this. And I said something like, I was hoping that a couple months after announcing this like fundraising thing and providing people a way to donate to the site for the first time in however long, that it would get a lot closer than less than halfway to the goal. Because it's not a fake goal. Like, you have 600 people. I'm asking for $20 from less than 5% of people who use the site every single day. And that would be $12,000. A third of that goes to bribing black people to not burning down cities. And then a third of that goes to me. And then a third of that goes to the site. That's the plan. That's the economics of that situation. And it covers shit like having to randomly drop $3,000 on a disk array because it's failing. And it's at risk of imminent catastrophic loss at any moment. I feel like that's fair. And we didn't reach that. And it's like, it really makes me reflect on the precarious financials of the forum and how not taking a side on politics has not benefited us. Like, when people think of neutrality, they think of Switzerland. Switzerland is the odd one out. When you think of neutrality, you know who's neutral? Ukraine. You know who is neutral? Poland, or Ethiopia. That's neutrality. That's what neutrality looks like. Getting fucking steamrolled by a world power without any friends. So by design, the forum has no friends, and it's as a result, nobody cares if the site goes away. Nobody gives a fuck. People who use the site every single day can't be fucking asked to set up a bill pay thing. So when problems happen, I pay for it. I have to finance it. I have to figure out a way to make my finances work, and it's a pain in the fucking ass, and it causes me stress constantly. And it makes me fucking bitter. And they're asking, like, the person who posted that had been using the site since 2019 or some shit, and they hadn't gotten a fucking green banner, which is $20. And it's like, so what's the point? What's like the point of this? If, like, what do you get out of the site that Reddit doesn't give you? You don't care about it. You don't give a fuck if it stays up or not. That's the worst thing, is realizing that of the people who use the site every day, even if they use it every single day, they don't give a fuck if it stays or goes. They just don't care. So it's like, why am I investing so much of my own time and energy into something you don't give a fuck about? At least with the A&H people, it's like, at least there's many of them. As far as partisans go, there's more of them. If you're going to pander to one side, you better pander to the people that give a fuck. Maybe cry in a cute voice. Good thinking. Carl Benjamin for $45 says, thanks for streaming even when sick. The streams are really good outreach. I hope so, man. I hope so. I hope that I'm not fucking wasting my time. Thank you very much. Dwenko for 5 says, I get here on time for once, and what happens? Typical, maybe 5 quid will get him out of hiding. I did try my best, buddy. Next time I'll be faster. Oh, let me check the kick things. Not even numeral sent $1 5 times. Thank you. Joshin Shipfic gifted 2 subs. Huge support. Thank you. Spider-Man gifted a sub. Thank you. Kilgore, I think that's $100. 10,000 kicks is 100, right? So Kilgore for $100 says, Dear Schneeder, not feeder, happy pizza day. Make sure to take care of your health and stay positive. Also, thank you for your work you have done for the Kiwi Farmers. Finally, some recognition. Of course, it comes from the fan zone chat and not from the actual fucking forum, which is always fucking yelling at me. If you guys want a tip, by the way, if you ever feel like you might be getting sick, you need to get a ginger shot. They actually, I didn't know that these things were sold in the US until I came back, but you find them in like the small fridge area where like weird drinks are sold, and they're very tiny. They look like a big bullet, and make sure you get something that said ginger on it. You need ginger. Get that ginger shit. It'll just drink it one shot. It's really a strong flavor. It tastes bad, but it will fix you right up. It works wonders, chat. Josh sent in a sub. Thank you. And then Baba Booey gifted 10 subs. 10 subs, Worski. And then Worski goes, all right, let's go. Huge support. And then more subs come in. They start like air guitaring and shit. How do they make more money than my fucking website? So that's the question. How do two Canadians? The Canadians should not be making money. They should be like constitutionally prohibited from making any money. Play Freebird, maybe. You'll be my sidekick. Okay, that's what I need. I need a sidekick. Maybe I'll get like an anime to be my sidekick or something. Then the money will just, I can get. Oh, I was thinking this would be really funny. If you guys know what the thing is for that like live AI replaces like who you are on a webcam, email me what that is, because I need to use that for a joke. It's in my head. It's a really funny joke, and I don't get to do it until I figure out what that thing is. But that's that. Navert 2623 for 5 says, take care of yourself, Josh. I do try to. Thank you. Dark Western for 5 says, pretty late, pretty gay, but it's okay because pizza day. Dude, I need pizza. Now that I think about it, now that people keep saying pizza day, I earned it, bro. Indomitable for 5 says, for the latest on the Don Lemon arrest on the Big I internet, go to lemonparty.com. That link is a little bit suspect to me. I didn't even talk about that. He got arrested for terrorism. Fuck him. I'll talk about it next stream. TB Deluxe for 5 says, total Balldo Victory. You fought the good fight, though. If there's any consolation, it was funny watching Nick gloat while trying not to cry and dress like he's a gay Matrix knockoff. Me and PPP talked about this. I can't stand him. I don't know what it is. I can't stand his voice. I can't stand the way he looks. I can't stand the way that he like trails off and hangs on his every word like he just spat fucking gold out. Like, yes, it seems some people tried to do things. And then like that's his entire stream. He's just self-sucking for fucking 2 hours straight. And there's no content. And he's just like obnoxious and terrible. It's like, what a fucking existence. Sneeda Stanley for 1 says, how many portas and hookers do you think Ralph can afford with 5K? None, bitch. He didn't take my bet. Waifus are not real for 10 says, not all heroes wear capes. Let's see. And there's a Kiwi Farms thread. That's very good. Appears to be Will Stansel. The Dark Knight of Minnesota can only be pushed so far before he hops in the Willmobile and does something. That's like an ice car. Oh no, not the Quality Learning Center. Oh god. Dude, now that anime can be made by a computer, like, it's never gonna end. It's never ever gonna end. Thank you. Haramburger for 2 says, Claude, analyze Kicks not being shown as super chat situation, and instead of finding a technical solution, formulate your plan to move viewers from Evil Eddie's clutches to Rumble. Run program. Nice try, guy, but he only responds to my voice, and I talk differently off stream to conceal my identity, like Tim Pool with his beanie. Borello Furman for 1 says, Josh is mega late, and I couldn't even get my cheat day Maddie snacks. Oh well, could be worse. If you ever need like a low calorie snack, by the way, those Quest chips are actually pretty good. Ratlord 111 for 4 says, me Chinese, me pray joke, me put pee-pee in your Coke. Fascinating. Never heard that one before. Thank you. Hamster for 1 says, in China, cat eat you. No, that's in Russia, bro. I guess also in China now. But, you know, actually that didn't happen. It was just a cat sitting in a pile of clothes, remember? Satoshi Waza Reptiloid 3777 for 2093 says, have you seen the music video Pendulum did with Wargasm? Rob Swire seems to be having an Aryan period. I absolutely have not. I have no idea what you're talking about, but that does sound good. Thank you. Bussy Buffet for $50 says, your rant here. I can't rant about anything without like revealing identity shit to you. I think I ranted enough this stream. I don't think I need to pour any more fucking vitriol on anything. Thank you, though. Appreciate it. Unadvised for 3 says, cheese fact of the week. Jamaicans have a proverb, when dog have money and buy cheese, to describe how people, when they come for money, waste it. When Balldo have money, he buy nose Parmesan. I don't believe you. I think you're making fun of me with that statement that you're describing as a Jamaican proverb. But thank you. Unkind naysayer for 2 says, release the body slam footage. Come on and slam. It might still happen, bros. You don't know. If he ever stops paying his bribe money to that bitch, April, we might get the body cam footage after all. Ace of Sneeds for 5 says, an alcoholic crackhead who ruined his life for no reason as well as that of his children and now streams for 8 hours for no reason to under 500 people, and he killed a dog. Nick is a total Ralph male, except that Ralph has a funny voice and you can actually listen to him without being immediately annoyed by everything that he says. And Ralph actually has like a limited damage output, whereas Ricada actually lives with his kids and can hurt them at any second. Bunkerhausen for 5, but you have to admit it was a really good selfie. It was pretty fucking good. Pretty cash money. I like it. It's nice. Rockman Halo for 5 says, Josh, thanks for giving me content when I work out on Fridays. Minnesota sucks. Go Stars. Yeehaw. That is a sports reference I do not understand, but thank you. Alan 0 for 20, or 0W Lan Vilan, probably German. Null Vilan Null for 20 says, yo, long time listener, 6 years. I'm locked into my Kiev account because I used a local email address. I sent you an email a while ago. Same user as my Rumble. Thanks for the stream. Yeah, I've been on a trip this week, bro. I started the stream by talking about it, so my emails are backed up. I will get around to it, I promise. If you use locale email for anything, you should fucking change it because that service has not existed since 2019. So if you're still using it for shit, you're a fucking retard and should change your fucking email. I don't know how many times I have to fucking say this. Don't take my kidneys for 2 says, fuck India, send in the elephants. Where has Smush Indians into goop with elephants groiper been? I miss him. Portlack for 2 says, my FFL dealer was calling during the Balldo segment. Was the body cam footage good? Yes, it was excellent. Unkind naysayer for 2 says, bananas and rice go together like beans on toast, which is kind of like the bananas on rice of the British. Who eats bananas and rice? Like Filipinos? David S877 for one says, finally got caught up with on the second stream of PPP. Wasn't expecting 4 hours. Luckily, it covered my whole drive. I'm telling you, you need it for quality content. You need to go to madattheinternet.locals.com or madattheinternet.gumroad.com. Help us get us to the goal, chat. Can we hit it? Question mark. Our goal being where I was this time last year, as a as a matter of fact, chat. Euclid Sneed for 5 says, I'm Australian and voting One Nation with Pauline thanks to that transphobic cartoon. I'm happy to help. Thank you. David S877 for 24 says, oh, right, here's the other $24. Glad it's Friday. Only 2 more working days till Monday. You work on the weekend? That sucks, bro. Thank you, though. Logistical Nightmare for $50 says, happy Friday, Josh. Have some extra shekels as you are now my only Friday podcast. One of the hosts on the other show I listened to decided to become a tranny VTuber, so I'm out. Well, that begs the fucking question, don't it? Because I have no idea what you're talking about, and I need to know. Hamster, thank you very much, though. Hamster for 5 says, after the YouTube segment, you should reward the non-YouTubers by yelling a selection of gamer words. It sounds like an audio hamster. I always do news stories that I can't talk about on YouTube. That's my reward for switching over, buddy. Dios mío, La Crachera for 2 says, Europores are hopeless. I say let the horde take it. We liberate it in 100 years, fill it with our finest mutt ubermensch, and turn it into a giant Mickey D's. Europe is the gayest country in the world. It is pretty fucking gay. No, I can't even pretend to care. They suck. The US sucks, but they suck ass too. Crispy Legs Forever for 10 says, happy Friday, party emoji. Thank you. I appreciate it. The Hamburger for 2 says, is the VTuber menstruation compatible with a burnt peanut? Asking for a friend. It might be if you can find some applicable posts for monitoring. Poor Glack for 2 says, should I be using as much of my company's cloud as possible for other shit? Sorry about the riggers and MN. Yes, you should. Make sure you hit every session, because that thing is so good. I swear to God, they're going to take it from us. There's no way that normies can have access to something so fucking good. They're going to take it. Balldo Pagans for 5 says, should I continue to hold Kayla nude units or should I go all in on SBC Scarlet Black coin? I am not a financial advisor. I can't tell you where to put your money into. I'm sorry. Anime Extremist for 1 says, Josh, I like you, but can you please curb your retardation? She keeps consistent with the child voice because she uses a voice modulator. She was also drunk when that trauma dumped. Whatever she's doing, she's jerking off pedophiles, and you can go fuck yourself. Sneeda Standing for 1 says, silver is dipping. Buy your cheapies now. Your cheapies are like $100. Is that your cheapies? Stupid Fuck for 5 says, to help you in your weight loss journey, you should start smoking. You're already old enough that if you start now, it won't fuck you up that bad. Cigarettes are cool. I thought about it at some point, but I decided against it. There's a ancient proverb from old 4chan, and the advice is don't ever start smoking, so I can't. Haramburger for 2 says, Josh, I need 3,000 worth of hard drives. Also, Josh, I donated 6,000 twice to dogs because I was mad at the Minnesota. As I said, the money for the body cam footage has been in a savings account that I have not touched the entire time. So there is no controversy there. The Kiwi Farms money has always been different. American Peshmerga for 1 says, Josh, don't you owe Ralph $5,000 over the body cam footage? I keep hearing about it, and I'm curious because I had forgotten about it. No, he never took my bet. Fatty Caddy for 1 says, Nick is a real winner. Aaron's cum was not in our wife, and the crack child never tested positive. His house was so clean, he showed the whole body cam footage. That's right. He didn't do anything wrong. His child testing positive for cocaine was actually a conspiracy of the government to hurt him, even though the government has literally conspired at 3 different levels to protect him in every step. Peen Wienerstein for 5 says, hell yeah, Bossman Jack is Bossman back, baby. Woo, let's fucking go. I know, buddy. I know. I'm so happy. Thank you. Fatty Caddy for 1 says, why do you not believe the puppy woman about not being sexually abused by Rapey Tom? I haven't said anything about that. I haven't really been following it since the interview. I've been busy. Wow, it's Daisy473 for 2 says, hope this will cheer you up. I messaged you on Twitter about the hamsters. Yeah, I just saw. Thank you. I guess you want me to look at it? Hold up. I saw the notifications on my phone. Oh, they're like felt hamsters. That's cute. I will share this. There we go, chat. Look. Some arts and crafts hammies. Made from felt. I guess that's very appropriate, right? As I am the eternally felted one. The Sisyphus of felt. I am made of felt, crawling up a felt hill, rolling a ball of felt. Thank you. Bot or not, for instance, every time I'm ready for the stream on time you have issues, I will now just be late. I promise I'll get my shit together at some point in the future. Thank you. Peen Wiener scene for 5 says BMJ is once again proving crack addicts aren't lazy, just really like crack, or in this case Gamba. If only everyone had the work ethic of an addict trying to get their fix. That's why you become addicted to money and addicted to work. That's what all those fucking people who are super wealthy, that's what they are. Like Warren Buffett, he's just addicted to money. He wakes up in the morning thinking about how he can make money. When he has money, he thinks about how he can make that money into more money. They're just addicted to money. Are there things you value more than money? Like pizza? That's your problem. Dios mío, la criatura, for one says, thoughts on the U.S. being run by literal pedophiles, and then there is a link to a Epstein file that I have to click a button to access. And then you sent me a link to a massive document. And then it's a thing that says Donald Trump measured girls' vaginas with his fingers. It's like, I don't know. Like, I think the issue is that some of these documents were tips received after the fact that ended up in the files, and they're not just like verified as true. They're just like accusations that people made, and they end up in the dump as opposed, but they're not like attested to. You know what I mean? But yeah, the whole world's run by pedophiles. Just fucking get over it. Docs Found pretends says, tell us about your terrible trip. No, I will not. Sorry. Thank you. Hamster for 2 says, sorry, I have a gold banner. I care. Thank you. Thank you. What a Chad. We love our gold banners, don't we, folks? Zen Seppa for 2 says, men at the internet more like big baby crying at the internet. So true, King. Sneeda Stanley for 1 says, update, the cheese guy is a retard who got fleeced. Oh boy, let's see. You say this cheese often sells for $120 a pound, yet you actually paid $130 a pound for it. In that case, it sounds to me that you overpaid and could struggle to turn a profit off of it. Next, you will say, if I cut this into 200-gram wedges and sell it at $60 each, I can make $38,000. 200 grams is 7 ounces. You could get a maximum of 320 7-ounce slices out of a 140-pound cheese wheel, assuming 0 weighs. At $60 each, you would get $19,200, not $38,000. Your math is totally off for one thing. I suspect you're going to struggle to find hundreds of customers willing to pay $60 for 7 ounces of cheese. So most likely you will lose money from this venture. That said, your money is yours and you do what you want with it, but if you have a partner you are planning a future with, it's a bad idea to make decisions like this without running it by them first. There you go. You are overreacting. Imagine not doing the math before buying a giant cheese wheel, chat. Sneedo for 2 says, tweet from Nicholas J. Fuentes. Let's take a look. Hassan Piker says, I'd rather be a class traitor than a gay Mexican manlet neo-Nazi. And Nick Fuentes says, you are a barely literate Turk roach that abuses animals. And then he says, I didn't vote for Trump because he voted for Kamala. This is cringe. Two of the biggest faggots you've ever known just slap fighting. They might as well just suck each other's cocks and call it a day. P. Wiener scene for 20 says, here's $20 because I'm a lazy Negro cattle who can't remember to set up bill pay to properly contribute to the site. I'll remember eventually, I promise. I'm sure. Thank you, though. I appreciate him. Fatty Catty, for 1, says, fighting Nick is the morally right thing to do. He's an evil man, and doing all you can do to buck break him is just the thing to do, regardless of outcome. Also, the Supreme Court might give a shit. No, they won't give a shit. Nobody gives a shit, bro. It's a fucking child abuser, crack addict, like, whore in Minnesota. Nobody cares about him. Not even, like, his own fucking congregates in his church don't care about him. They care about his kids, but they don't care about him. Nobody cares about Nick or Kate anymore. Bot or not, for 10 says, I support on both Gumroad and local super chat when I can. Would you prefer supporting the forum? Instead, I do all three if I could. I mean, it's up to you. The money for the forum is earmarked for the forum. The money for Math Internet is earmarked for me. But, you know, I have to, like, pay myself up from the forum stuff, too. But it's a matter. It's easier to support by the Gumroad. You don't have to set up the bill pay system. So that's probably what's easiest. Thank you, though. Logic Residue for 2 says, just set up monthly bill pay to the LLC. Thank you. Finally, some support. Appreciate it. John Doe Darius for 5 says, decided to get off my ass up the bill pay so I can support the forum. Thank you. I appreciate it. The system will get faster, by the way. At some point, Old Glory Bank is going to be doing... I think Old Glory Bank is literally going to send us an SDC machine. I've been talking to them for half a year about this, and they're actually making progress on their end, so that's pretty exciting. Mizo South Pinks for 5 says, setting up bill pay for my positive pod. Thank you. I appreciate it. And Blind Oracle for $100 says, endure, let Balldo dwell in the life he's wasted. Survival is its own reward, and it's best to invest in yourself or good stocks. I don't know. Good stocks, definitely the winning choice there. That is investing in yourself. Yeah, like I said, I'm not too bummed about, on one hand, I'm naturally optimistic about outcomes, perhaps naively so. So I've always been optimistic that we could eventually get it. And I'm very rewarded in seeing them circle the wagons. Like, they're so obvious about it. They're so obvious that something somewhere has happened. Someone somewhere is getting a fuck ton of money from his family to cover up the fact that he is a child abuser that subjected his children to substandard conditions so that he could do blow and be an alcoholic and abuse his dog in the company of 2 fucking losers. And it's just obvious. And it's like, at that point, you look at that and you're thinking, like, there really is no justice coming. There's not going to be like a breakthrough moment. It's corrupt all the way to the tippy top. You look at what Tim Walz is doing and how the Supreme Court of Minnesota is treating things that other corruption style cases, and you realize it's rot all the way through. This is way above me, way above my pay grade, and I'm not going to stand a snowball chance in hell of denting this fucking charade. Honestly, with the way that this worked out, we could probably go to the Supreme Court, get a Supreme Court order to release the footage, and then get a letter from them saying we already deleted it after, the appeal court decision. That's probably what would happen. It's rot all the way fucking through. And then what? What recourse do you have? You can't sue any of those people. You want to sue the government and get like a $10,000 payout or whatever? They don't give a fuck. Thank you, though. Snedo for 5 says, did you see the influx of trannies and redders buying guns to fight the fascists? Well, last I heard, the trannies couldn't buy guns because they're mentally ill and they can shoot themselves in the head. Nigga got a 1022 trying to fight the government. Go home, little nigga. Oh, it's a 22 LR. Yeah, you're not going to punch through much with that. Sorry. Don't get me wrong, kick and kill, but not armor. Don't take my kidneys for 2 says, I had to stop listening to gas while driving after the time I hit a patch of ice and crashed. Yeah, you don't want to crash your car listening to music, buddy. I guess the anime flow was just too strong. Too much for you. You couldn't handle it. Hamster for 2 says, have you named your swamp gator yet? I think you should call one Jeffrey. Jeffrey is kind of like a tainted name at this point. It's kind of like sus. Where you feeding that thing children? If we cut that thing open, there's going to be like kids inside, bro. Can't name it Gator Jeffrey. Unkind Naysayer for 2 says, cigarettes are healthier than they've ever been. Go on, give it a try. You look cool. I think you have to disclose if you work for a cigarette company when you pay for ads. Octavia Sales Rep for 20 says, January is always the worst month of the year. Just survive the weekend. You'll be golden. Take care, Josh. Bro, there's so much fucking work to do. It's like, it's unreal. Like, I already have like 10 things I know I have to do as soon as I shut the stream off. And getting pizza is going to be one of them, I think. Thank you, though. I appreciate it. Insensitive Zero for 5 says, I've definitely been having fun in the Turkey Tom thread lately. You should give it a read. We recently figured out Brandon Buckingham's crippling health problems were likely caused by nitrous habit. I also discovered that someone has decided to announce that Turkey Tom has a nipple fetish, and he likes people to play with his nipples. And now Turkey Tom's nipples are on my website, so I'm not sure how I feel about that one. And finally, the lowercase L Linternet for 1452 says, here's some money. Get well soon. Thank you. I will try my best. I promise. And then let me double check Kick just to make sure I didn't miss anything. Mr. Bubbles donated 2 subs. Thank you. Bubba Booey for 5 says, have some perspective. Look at the progressives between now and 2022. Or like progression between now and 2022. Yeah, but it feels really ephemeral. Like, that's my thing. Is I'm trying to cement this stuff. I'm trying to cement our status, and it's so hard to get ahead. It's so hard that we're at this place now. Like, okay, let's fucking go. Let's fucking go. Let's get some cash flow so that we can have a permanent attorney retainer, so that we can have upgrades to our hardware. There's so much shit I want to buy hardware for. I want to buy media processing cards. When someone uploads a video file to the Kiwi Farms that's in one format that doesn't play on half the web browsers, I have 2 choices. I can either try and force people to learn how to re-encode videos when they record with their fucking iPhone or whatever, or I can do media processing myself, which is what I want to do. I have a plan to write a media processor. Now that I have access to AI, I can do whatever the fuck I want. But it's like, I can't buy the card. I can't afford to take a $2,000 detour to buy media processing cards that are going to fit into the server chassis. I can't afford to expand our server infrastructure so that I can store double the number of media streams, because you have the original file and then you have the post-processing files. I can't afford any of this shit. And that's what's frustrating. It's like, I want to save up to buy a house. I need to pay taxes. I need to have an attorney fund. I need to have this for the server. I need to have this for myself. And I can't fucking get there. And it's like, I need to figure out a way to stop being such a pussy about asking people for money, because what I'm doing is not working. In fact, the guy who processes, like, if you go to the Kiwi Farms right now and you look at the front page, right, you will see a banner ad. Let me just show you on the forum. You go here and you look at this. And you see this banner ad. The guy who processes the checks for the bill pay system asked me if he had earned, just like as a joke, have I earned a banner? Can you like feature this for me in the banner space? And I'm like, bro, you have access to the premium system. You just go to a post and click the button and do it yourself. He's like, oh, I didn't know that was a feature of that. I'm like, you process the payments for this system that gives you access to this feature. And you didn't know that the thing you process payments for gives you access to this feature? Then oh my God, I'm fucking something up, because how the fuck does the guy processing the payments not know what this does? This is what you're handling the money for. It goes to the fucking feature system thing. And he didn't know. It's like, okay, I'm fucking up. I'm not doing good businessman stuff when the guy processing the payments doesn't know what the fuck the payments are for. So I just have to sit down at some point and figure out like how to do things right. I'm not Jeremy Hambley. I don't have a bachelor's of a BMA of business or whatever the fuck, right? I'm just some guy. So I have to figure it out. There's always this stigma about like talking about money and shit, but it's like I don't know what the fuck I pressed, but I just fucked up my overlay. That is my cue to shut the fuck up and get off the stream. Did I miss anything? Did anything else come in? No. Okay, great. I'll see you guys next Friday. Wait, an evil bun for $200 says no rant, just money. Thank you, my dude. I appreciate it. We all appreciate it. I appreciate it. Thank you for helping me help you help ourselves. And I picked some edgy industrial music to play us out. Thank you, everybody. See you on the next Suffer Sesh. Take it easy. Bye-bye.
Make your